I'm David Partridge and I'm Chairman of the Governance Board of the UK Net Zero Carbon Building Standard. If we need to address the climate challenge that we've got, we can't wait for legislation to do that for us. So we're relying on the market to come together to deliver this standard. It's being designed for the real estate industry, by the real estate industry, and we hope that that's why it's going to become something that is adopted by the whole real estate industry.
Mitsubishi Electric are involved in the UK Net Zero Carbon Building Standard, also known as the Standard, because we are essentially only one piece of a giant puzzle. We have to ensure that we're all singing off the same hymn sheet in order for us to reach these net zero aspirations of 2050. This is the first time we're going to have a playbook as to how we get to net zero. We know the destination, 2050, but we don't necessarily know how we're going to get there. This, for the first time, is being created by the industry, for the industry, and it's going to enable us to have a benchmark as to how we get there.
So I came to this roundtable event today to talk about the Net Zero Carbon Building Standard and how it's impacting ourselves and our clients. I think there'll be a welcome response from the construction clients. It's going to give them a clear framework and roadmap to get to these net zero carbon targets that their own clients are requesting. I think it's all about accessibility, and I also think it's about not scaremongering. So it needs to be something that's deliverable across, all types of projects, not just high-end projects.
From a construction perspective, we're often asked by clients as to how we can assist them to achieve their carbon goals. And for us, a really important requirement is to be consistent in the industry, because at the moment there is no common standard. So if we're to develop our own, it's really important that the message we're given is the same as what all of our competitors are doing, so that our clients can make informed decisions. Have a standard that's going to provide them with that flowchart or process, then they're going to be really pleased with that, because then they're going to get a consistent message from the industry.
The Net Zero Building Standard is so important because it provides a common language for us to understand the targets that we need to aim for in our built infrastructure on site. It's also a common language for us to talk with our suppliers and our consultants who work on our built infrastructure, so that they understand what we're aiming for, and our design teams also know what we're aiming for. It's also really important when we're working on our influence, so through the policy work that we do and working with industry, to share what best practice looks like.
As to how clients will react to the standard, I think is a really interesting question. For us, I think they will react positively, because they're already coming out to ask us for what it truly means and what it is that they need to do to ensure that they can meet their net zero goals.
So today's event is really important, because what it does is it gives us feedback from the people who we hope are going to be actually using the standard. There's been an enormous amount of industry involvement in setting the technical aspects of it. We need to be sure that the people who are using it are actually going to adopt it. And so talking to them and explaining what we're doing and inviting them to beta test the standard is really important for us.
The standard has been created by the industry, for the industry, but it's also been underpinned by different industry bodies, people like LETI, UK GBC, REBA, where previously they've potentially gone off on their own sort of benchmark and set different standards. Now we've come together, collaborated, and are referencing each other. But this standard has collated all of those and is now sort of going to be the gold standard, the playbook. How do we get to net zero? How do we ask for net zero? And more importantly, how do we verify it thereafter?